Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. Right, this is not a sponsored video today, so I don't want anybody thinking that I'm getting paid for this. This is me just getting very excited about a piece of equipment that we've recently got, and I think this thing is possibly the best value modeler that you can get. This is the Fractal Audio FM3. Now, when I say best value, this is not the cheapest modeler, so don't expect this to be cheap, but the sounds you can get out of this compared to a lot of other modelers and even other modelers around the same sort of price and more expensive, I think this does 50 times better. So as I said, this is the Fractal Audio FM3. The reason James and I bought this is because we're going to start to create some more packs for Fractal gear, things like the Axe FX3 and the FM3 and the FM9. Now the FM3 is the baby of the Fractal range, and it's the baby because it has the least amount of processing between the FM3, the FM9 and the Axe FX3. Now, just because this is the baby, don't think that this doesn't do all of the great tones that the Axe FX3 does, because it does. This currently retails, I think, for about £1,050, which isn't a small amount of money, agreed. But when you're looking at something like the Line 6 Helix or the Quad Cortex is actually more expensive. I think this is far better value. Now, first of all, this is built for gigging. I think if you look at something like the Quad Cortex, it looks fantastic and it has loads of functions on it. It has the capture capability as well. But because of the actual construction of the unit and the big touchscreen that's on it, I don't think it's that practical for live use. But the FM3 is so rugged, it's just built for gigging. Now, as I said, James and I bought the FM3 to create a bunch of patches for it. And what I've done here is I've created the first FM3 pack, which is going to be available on our website. And I'll leave a link in the video description if you're interested in going to check it out. But what I've done here is I've created 8 scenes or 8 different tones inside the FM3. Now, the FM3, like all Fractal gear, it's not the easiest to program, but luckily you can download FM3 Edit, which is the FM3 editor that Fractal have created, and it just makes it an absolute breeze to program. Now, the way that Fractal works is that you create scenes inside of a patch. Very similar to the Quad Cortex, where what you can do is to set up loads of different tones and then have those tones almost like presets within a preset, and it just makes it a breeze to use. And because the FM3 is so powerful, you can create some absolutely amazing tones from it. So let's have a look at some of the tones. Now, the first one is Swart Clean. Now, Swart is a high-end boutique amp manufacturer that make these really fantastic boutique tweed style amps, and the Swart inside the FM3 I think is absolutely brilliant. The great thing about all of the amps inside the FM3 and all Fractal gear is that they are so dynamic, so responsive, and if you're used to playing amplifiers, the Fractal stuff just feels the most amp-like when you're playing through it. So let's have a look how the FM3 works. Now if I click on this amp block here, you'll see down here we've got this thing called channels. Now what you can do is to load 4 different amplifiers into 4 different channels, so A, B, C and D. So in channel A I've got this nuclear tone, which is the SWAT amp. In channel B I've got a high power amp. In channel C I've got a JCM 800. And in channel D, one of my favourite amps is the divided by 13 CJ. Now what you can do is to choose different scenes and put different amplifiers in those scenes. So it actually ends up like a 4-channel amplifier. Now, if you've got something like the Axe FX3, you can have 2 separate amplifiers. So you can basically load up 8 different tones and then combine them in parallel, in series, etc. And it just sounds absolutely fantastic. Now, without a doubt, my favourite thing inside the Axe FX3 is something called Plex Delay. Now, for me, this is the ultimate modulated reverb effect, and it sounds like this. And if I switch over to a different scene, we've got the same type of effect on an overdrive tone. Now, as I said, this is not a sponsored video. I honestly believe that if you're looking to buy a modeler and you've got around about the sort of £1,000, $1,000 to spend, I personally don't think you could do any better than the FM3. Now, if you're looking for the ultimate modeler, I would go and recommend the Axe FX3. But if you're on more of a budget, and I know still this is a lot of money, I don't think you can do better than this. Anyway, I'll leave all the details for the Fractal FM3 in the notes below. And if you want to go and check out our preset pack and you have got an FM3, you can go and do that there, and I'll leave a link that will take you straight to the download page. Anyway, really hope you guys got something out of this. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe, click on the bell button, and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Apps. I'm Paul, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.